Hey guys, let's read through our reading comprehension passage for the week. Howdy, Big Tex. Ask anyone who has been to the Texas State Fair in Dallas, Texas, to tell you what it's like. You might hear stories of the exciting rides, tasty food, and interesting farm animals. One thing you will definitely hear about is Big Tex. He is the giant cowboy who greets people at the front gate. His huge arm waves at visitors as he welcomes them with a cheerful howdy. In 2016, Big Tex greeted visitors as they entered the Texas State Fair. Big Tex in the beginning. Since 1952, children and grown-ups have enjoyed seeing Big Tex. In 1951, the State Fair president bought Big Tex. He thought it would be nice to have a big cowboy as a symbol of Texas at the fair, so Big Tex was placed at the entrance. The giant cowboy was made of metal, paper, cardboard, and glue. He stood 52 feet tall. He wore colorful clothing, a huge cowboy hat, and a giant pair of cowboy boots. Thick wires attached to Big Tex's body kept him from falling over. His hand was positioned to look like he was waving to visitors. Big Tex stood tall and smiled. By 1953, Big Tex could speak. Words that had been pre-recorded played over speakers while the giant cowboy's mouth moved. As the words played, his mouth moved like a puppet. Open, closed, open, closed. In 1997, Big Tex got a new look. His body was rebuilt with stronger materials, and by 2000, his arm could move. Big Tex waved at visitors as they entered the state fair. Big Tex gets bigger. Unfortunately, in 2012, there was an accident, and Big Tex was destroyed in a fire. Although people were disappointed, a man named R. Eddie Snell realized this was a chance to make a bigger and better Big Tex. Snell's company had built a large dragon and giant cowboy boots before, yet he knew the big cowboy would not be an easy job. Snell had big ideas for the new cowboy. The new Big Tex would be taller. He would stand firmly on the ground without wires attached to hold him up. The new Big Tex's face would move and look more like a real cowboy. He would also have fingers that move and point. Overall, the new Big Tex would be more lifelike. Snell's company wanted the new Big Tex to surprise people at the fair, so the company worked secretly for 10 months. The workers were not allowed to tell anyone what they were building. In fact, they used a secret code for Big Tex in emails and on the phone. They called him Fried Chicken. Drawings of the designs were also labeled Fried Chicken. This way, the workers could keep the big cowboy a secret until he was finished. Snell's workers found a new way to make Big Tex's face. A soft, light material called styrofoam was used. It could be carved easily into the shape of a face. Then thin layers of other soft materials were placed on top. This way, the mouth could move almost like a person's mouth. The workers were careful to use materials that would not burn easily. It was important to avoid another fire. At last, Big Tex was finished. His steel frame body was taken to a clothing factory. There, hundreds of yards of fabric were used to make his clothes. Big Tex was dressed in a red, white, and blue shirt, denim jeans, colorful cowboy boots, and an even bigger cowboy hat. It was time to take Big Tex to his place at the fairgrounds. A large crane and several workers set him in place. He stood behind white curtains, and on September 26, 2013, the curtains were dropped. At last, everyone could see the new Big Tex. Now, every fall, Big Tex greets visitors to the state fair with a smile, a nod, and a wink. He points the way to fun attractions. Snell is happy with the work his team did to build Big Tex. I know we won't please everybody, Snell says, but I think future generations will love this Tex. Based on the public's response, Big Tex is a big hit in Texas. Question 26 asks us, which word in paragraph 9 best helps the reader understand the meaning of carved? It says it could be carved easily into the shape of a face. So your best answer would be G. The material is able to be shaped and molded the way that they want the face to look. Number 27, with which statement about the first Big Tex would the author most likely agree? On an actual test like this, you would not choose two answers, and I want you to pick which one you think is best. I will accept A, that he was too short, because the author does talk about how the new big text became much, much taller. And I will also accept D, because they did end up making the new big text much more lifelike, and the author went into detail about that in the carving of the face and the materials. On 28, what is the best summary of the selection? A summary, basically from beginning to end and telling you all of the important things, wraps up the story in a short amount of words. It explains the story. J ends up being the best answer because it puts in all of the most important parts of the story. It introduces the giant cowboy named Big Tex. It talks about the fire, which was a very important part of the story. And then it talks about how Big Tex was rebuilt. Number 29, which idea from the selection is supported by the photograph? And it's A, Big Tex has a special area where he stands at the fair. Even the caption of the photograph talks about how he stands at the entrance. Number 30, what is the most likely reason the author included paragraphs 7 through 9? And a reminder, paragraphs 7 through 9 is where they're describing the way Snell is going to be making Big Tex bigger and better. And the best answer choice is G. Those paragraphs are giving details about how the workers are going to be building the new Big Tex bigger and better than ever. Number 31, which text feature in the selection best helps the reader understand where to find details about the first Big Tex? You should have chosen C. The subtitle Big Tex in the beginning tells us that that's where you're going to find the historical information of the very first one. On number 32, in paragraph 4, what does pre-recorded mean? Well, let's use our knowledge of prefixes in this word. The prefix pre means before. So if something is pre-recorded, it should be J. That means it was recorded before. On 33, which sentence best shows that the makers of the new Big Tex hoped to keep a problem from happening again? You should have chosen answer choice C, because the main problem or conflict that happened in this story was that the first Big Tex burned. So in hopes of keeping a problem from happening again would be C. The workers were careful to use materials that would not burn easily. Number 34 deals with cause and effect. And the word cause is part of the word because. And so the effect is usually what happens after the cause. So the effect is that Snell's workers sent emails about fried chicken. Why were they sending emails with that code name? You should have chosen answer choice G. The cause of his workers using that code name was the fact that they wanted to keep the project a secret and make it kind of a surprise to the public.